So the question is, we're preparing for the end of the year. So now what do we do? Oftentimes what happens is everybody starts at the beginning of the year and they say, boy, we are going to make sure that we have all of our expenses in line, and we're going to account for everything, and we're going to do a really good job of bookkeeping. And as a practical matter, life happens. So usually somewhere between about January 25th and maybe, let's just say Valentine's Day, all that stuff goes out the window, and then we all have what I affectionately call the junk drawer of all of our financial stuff. And in there somewhere, ever sinking to the bottom and being weighted down are our goals for the year. And so as we get to the end of the year, such as we are right now, here we are in November, and it dawns on everybody. Have I done my Roth contribution? Have I done my IRA contribution? If I'm at work, is there more that I can do in terms of a contribution into my 401k or 403b? Have I maximized what I can do in terms of any sort of conversions in my Roth in order to not bump tax brackets? Have I contributed to my HSA? Have I taken care of other items that benefits at work that potentially could go away? So my FSA, if I don't use them. If the kids need glasses, now's probably a pretty good time to do that. The problem is we always come to this rush. And what do people do? Well, they kind of rush and make decisions and open up that drawer and go, woof. I guess sometime in February, I really want to get to the bottom of that drawer, because guess what? Now we're Thanksgiving planning, or we're Christmas planning, or we're Hanukkah planning, or whatever the gathering is you do. Everything seems to get in the way. And so what I find myself doing a lot of is saying, gosh, have we considered the following? Or last year we talked about this. Are we in the same place this year? And how do we make next year different? And oftentimes I find myself not nagging people, but reminding people in July of saying, when you get done with your vacation, then let's have this conversation. Or by the way, when we get to Labor Day, let's just do this conversation early so we can smile and wish each other a great Thanksgiving or holiday season. There's much which can be accomplished if we plan, and we plan early and plan consistently. I can't tell you the number of clients that I have that have said, rather than trying to write that one $7,000 check for a Roth is hard. But since we've changed to a $583 a month check that automatically comes out, it's not hard at all. As a matter of fact, by the end of the year, they've made the $7,000. But tomorrow, it makes a huge difference. I did a little calculation here for a young client, extremely talented young lady, does extremely well in her job, and she can fully fund a Roth, and happens to be 27 years old. And she said, gosh, I really want to do some special things for my family and friends at Thanksgiving. Can we just postpone until, actually, could we just cancel our monthly contribution into our Roth? And I said, sure we can. So the $583, I believe it's $583 and some change, I simply said, no problem. So we went click, and we canceled those contributions. And then I said, I just want you to know that based on your age and given all sorts of information that historical trends, certainly not predicting the future, I said, you just made a $43,000 decision. Needless to say, she said, perhaps my family doesn't need such a grandiose gift as a $43,000 gift. I'd rather have that in retirement and in a Roth structure where earnings after 5 years, and assuming 59 and a half or older, come out tax-free. And so I believe she made a much better decision. It's those types of things that I enjoy doing, that I enjoy saying, well, okay, you can do that, but should you do that? And what is the implication of that? So what is the time value of money? What is a reasonable expectation of the future? Nobody can guarantee the future. But if we look at the last 40, 45 years and take the average growth rate of the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Dow, and just said, if we just did the average, if that's all we did, we just stayed with the market, what did that $583 decision make today for tomorrow's future? And it's putting things in perspective that you don't necessarily think about because you think, wow, this would be a great gift for my mom, my dad, my brother, or maybe I want to give myself that new whatever. But what happens? Well, you made a decision and it cost you a lot in the future. Now, can she make that up next year? Up to the legal limit. But if this year passes and she hasn't made it, well, guess what? She can't go back and redo what she did. So therein lies the issue. So oftentimes what I'm doing is I'm helping people stay accountable to themselves and their goals, and hopefully being able to invest in a way that helps them meet their financial goals. And that's really the long and the short of it, that and understanding people and understanding what really makes them tick and how they want to be generous, but at what cost. So they get to weigh that and understand. And I did mention to her, I said, I do know your father, and I'll bet you he'd be just as happy with a big hug from his daughter and know that one day his daughter is going to be financially well off. There's a huge difference, speaking as a father. If you like what you see and you say, well, okay, he seems like a reasonable guy, and maybe he's been around the block a couple times, love to be able to help and have a conversation. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And there's plenty of information there to help you get more familiar with me. If you'd like to connect, love to have a phone call, connect with me by email, whatever is most convenient for you. The link is in the video just below here. And if you take a look, just click on that. Away we go.